Hey, what's up guys? This is Brian from Quantum Motorworks doing a tutorial today on how to service and clean your skateboard wheel bearings. Skateboard wheel bearings we'll be working with today are these independent number 5s. I'm assuming that the number 5s is referring to the A-back, even though most skateboard wheel bearing manufacturers don't use the A-back standard in most cases. But I'm assuming that that's what these are right here. They're pretty good quality. Rode the crap out of them. Did pretty well. After I used them at the beach on the boardwalk, seems like they got a little bit of sand in there. Hence the reason why we're taking them apart to clean them. Now, if you'll look here, the thing that makes these wheel bearings pretty cool is that they're serviceable. Most bearings have a cast or iron plate that goes over the race there to cover it, and it's not serviceable. These have a plastic or some type of polyurethane cover. So we're going to go ahead and show you how to disassemble these and service them. Okay, so the best way to do this, I realized, is using a little flat blade screwdriver like this. If you try to use a larger one like that right there, show you precise comparison, it's not really going to work. You might damage the seal or kind of gouge it. So we're going to go ahead and stick with this one and not use this type or size. So first thing you want to do is notice it's easier to go from the inside here, right above the race. You just kind of stick it in there, kind of pry it, and it's really easy. Doesn't require that much force, and they just kind of pop out like that. Go ahead and get another one. I noticed if you try to go for the outside here, you'll kind of damage it. Seems like there's a little bit more of a gap on the inside right here. So don't try the outside, go with the inside. Okay, you don't have to be non-specific in how you arrange your bearings. They're all made the same, so each race cover and its bearing doesn't really matter. They're all the same. So next thing we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead and clean these bad boys out. Some of them are a little bit better than others. I already kind of cleaned the worst ones, so I don't have. Well, that one right there sounds a little nasty, but I don't have the worst ones that were actually sticking and not rotating at all. I already cleaned those, so I can't show you. But we're going to go ahead and clean them out with a little bit of carb cleaner. I'll show you how to do that. It's pretty basic. Okay, so I'm just going to use some basic carb cleaner. Brake cleaner would probably work too. It's probably a little bit more caustic than carb cleaner. And not that it would really damage the metal surfaces, but there's a potential to damage what I'm assuming is plastic or urethane, this outer race cover here. It's definitely a plastic. I don't think it's not like an aluminum or anything. But we're going to go ahead and use some carb cleaner. Go ahead and use a pan so you don't damage anything. If you have wheels or your board, go ahead and move those items out of the way. Using carb cleaner, the acetone will probably damage the wheels. I haven't tried it, but I'm going to assume it will. Direct contact, so don't do that. Go ahead and take a little bit and just kind of spray it in there.
Okay. Sounds good. Sounds like no debris. Okay. That was a little nastier. That one might be a little blown out already from getting dirt in there and not cleaning it in time. Okay, and you want to go ahead and just set these upside down. That way the carb cleaner doesn't get chill in the inner race retainer cover. Just because, like I said, it's plastic or urethane, you don't want this stuff to sit on it for too long to damage it. Okay, last two.
Okay, now if you had an air compressor, I mean, you could go the extra step, and you could, hit it with some compressed air to kind of clean them out. It's probably not completely necessary. I mean, there shouldn't be too much dirt and debris in there to begin with, and the carb cleaner is pressurized, so it should have blown out most of that crap to begin with. So I would say just give them a couple minutes and let them air dry, allow the acetone that's in the carb cleaner to evaporate, and these things should be ready for oiling up. Now before we oil up our wheel bearings, just go ahead and take this time to inspect the races, the race covers. Don't really want to spray anything on these ones if you can help it, because these ones do have like a rubber texture, and I'm not quite sure how solvent resistant they are. So if you use a harsh solvent like acetone, it may warp them or cause it to come off completely, and then your wheel bearings won't be able to keep, or these covers won't be able to keep the dust and dirt out of them. Okay, so probably the part you've all been waiting for. Let's see, for the lubrication part, they do sell skateboard wheel bearing specific lubricants. I don't own any personally. I've never really thought about doing it, but just from my expertise in motorcycles and how bearings work and these specific conditions, dirt would be your enemy. Dust and dirt would be enemy number one to a skateboard bearing. It would cause it to wear and stick. You would lose momentum and not be able to, get good hits, or do your tricks or whatever. So using, a WD-40, probably not going to be your best solution or your best lubricant for this choice. It is very light. But the thing is, it may be so light that and liquidy that it may attract dirt, dust, dirt, and debris. So I'm not going to do this, and it may it may seep out or fling out and go other places. So you could also, most people might, I wouldn't do this, but people would probably try using a bearing grease. For certain applications that are sealed, I'd recommend it, but these bearings aren't really sealed enough. These covers right here aren't 100% tight around the bearing race, and that's okay. They're just more of like a dust shield to or a rock shield, keep big debris out, but it's not really completely sealing the inside of the ball bearings. And of course, if you look at the back side of these, you can pretty much see the ball bearings on the inside. So that just shows you that these bearings aren't completely sealed. So you gotta be kind of specific and careful what type of oil you use, or you'll create more damage than actually doing good. So what I've been trying, can't really say 100% if this is just as good or if not better than say like the Speed Cream, or I'm not even sure what brands of skateboard wheel bearing lubricants are out there, but this is assembly lube that's used motorcycle parts. I use it when I put engines together, and it has a pretty decently thick viscosity. It's kind of thick. It's almost like, it's not quite oil, but it's not quite a grease. It's kind of right in between. So if they're using this stuff right here for, putting engines together to, prevent wear to the metal surfaces, I'm pretty sure it should be pretty decent and put inside a skateboard bearing. Like I said, experimenting. I'm just assuming from my experience and without buying actual skateboard wheel bearing lubricant that this is the best stuff in my shed as far, that I have, That's better than WD-40, and I don't recommend WD-40, so we're going to go ahead and put this stuff in there. Place a little drop right on top of one of the balls. And just go ahead and rotate it around. And I don't know if you can see that, it's already kind of working its way in very quickly. Doesn't make any sound now. Let's go ahead and try one of these. Alright, let's put a little drop in there. And you can just hear how there is no sound, so you really don't hear anything. It's great. So one last final wipe. Now we can go ahead and get ready to apply our race covers, and these are pretty easy to install. No need to put anything on the race cover, it'll just attract dirt, but you just take them and just pop them back on. You'll hear a little pop, and that right there tells you that they're on. You can hear it's like kind of like an audible thing. Get a close-up for you there. But you just take it, try to make sure your stuff's as clean as possible. Take it and just not too much drag, but just a little bit from the oil. Not too excessive. Don't see any seepage coming out the back, so that's perfect. Now I would say these bearings are serviced and ready to go into your wheels, or you can go ahead and put them away and save them for, you know, another set of wheels or whatever you want to do. So for me, I want to have like an extra set of wheels with bearings ready to go. Maybe a pair just for the skate park, and then a pair for when I go to the beach. So I don't have to clean my wheels as much, because at the skate park they really don't get too dirty. The beach, you gotta almost clean them every time, or you know, you're probably gonna need new bearings sooner than later. So before we go ahead and press our new bearings in, we're going to go ahead and just clean out the inner diameter of these wheels here. Just kind of wipe out the dirt. Don't use any solvents. You don't really even got to use any water or soap. If you want to, that's okay. Just give them time to dry so water doesn't get in your bearings. Water is the one of the other things that will destroy your wheel bearings besides dirt. You know, dirt. So to slam these bad boys in, I don't put anything on the outside of the bearing race or on the inside of the wheel, because if you put like WD-40 or any type of grease, it's eventually going to work its way out onto the wheel. And I noticed these types of rubbers are really good at like keeping oils. They kind of bond to the rubber, and you can't really get them out like unless you scrub them off with soap and water or something. and they'll cause you to eat shit or slip, slip and slide. You won't get as much traction as you're supposed to. So put them in dry. That's the best way to do it. The whites inside and the reds are facing the outside. These are made so you can just take off the wheels and service the bearings without actually having to take the bearings out of the wheels. I went the extra step and just took them out anyway so I can clean them, clean the wheels, the bearing spacers, that kind of thing. So now that we got those in, go ahead and just take a wheel spacer and drop them in. Make sure they're straight. Go ahead and take your bearings. These bearings, as you can see, they're not all the way in. They're kind of protruding out just a little bit, but that's fine. You just want to get them in there straight by hand first, and make sure you get your wheel spacers in there. Then once you go ahead and put them on the trucks and tie them down with the nut, you'll be fine. Just make sure you don't over tighten it, and it'll go ahead and push those bearings into place and you'll be good. So that's pretty much it. That's how you clean and install your wheel bearings, the independent 5s, into your wheels. If you liked my video and found it helpful, give it a thumbs up. If you had any questions, or shoot, maybe you guys know more than me. This is my first time doing this, so if I didn't use the right lubricant, or you guys know something better that's not an actual skateboarding specific wheel bearing lubricant, let me know, or give me your thoughts on WD-40. I'm always up for other people's opinions. Thanks for the tip. But yeah, if you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to follow me, subscribe, and stay tuned for the next one. I'll be doing another video on my Baker skateboard. I just got some new Ricta wheels with the independent blacks. I'm gonna go ahead and show you how to do those as well, so stay tuned.